Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck and wondering where all your money goes? In this video, I'll be sharing the best way to manage your money and achieve your financial goals. So sit tight and get ready to take control of your finances in 5 steps. All right, so welcome to the Common Sense Show, and I'm going to get right into it and how you can manage your money in the best way. I have 5 steps in order for you to be able to do that. The first step is to create a budget. Now, the first step in managing your money and creating a budget is planning for what you're spending, what you're saving, and of course, what you're going to invest. It helps you to prioritize your spending and avoid overspending on things that you normally wouldn't want to spend on. So essentially, to create a budget, you have to start by listing all the sources of your income on one side and your monthly expenses on the other side. And then what you want to do is you want to subtract your income from your expenses to see how much money you have left over. Now, this amount that's left over is called essentially your net income, or what you have left over after all your expenses are paid. And this is the amount that you can use for savings or other financial goals. Another way to accomplish and make sure that you can stay on track with your budget is to do what Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko said in their book, The Millionaire Next Door, which is to live below your means. So the live below your means rule encourages people to spend less money than they earn to avoid debt. It's a fundamental principle of personal finance, and it's been advocated by many authors. So it's important in general, and this applies whether you have a business, whether it's in your personal household, that you simply have to live below your means. Whatever you're coming in, whatever you have coming in for income, minus whatever you're spending, create a budget for that. Every single month, you should know what day your credit card bills come out of your account. Write that down on a separate piece of paper. You should know what day your bills come out of your account or what day that they're due, and write that down. If you simply take the time to write down not just how much you have to spend, but the days that they come out, you're going to be much better for that. The second way that you can manage your money is by saving for emergencies when they come up. Emergencies can happen at any time, and having an emergency fund will help you to avoid taking on debt. If something happens at the last minute that you weren't expecting, you want to be able to cover it and care for it. There's plenty of news articles that have stated, specifically, I remember watching it on CNBC and watching it on CNBC and reading about it on Forbes. The average American only has about $1,000 in their bank account. But in order to avoid the trap of having to use debt to pay for emergencies, you want to aim to save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund that you can tap when an emergency comes up, just by setting aside a small amount of money each month and gradually increasing it over time. One of the reasons why they're called emergencies, because they don't happen every time. But if you were to save, let's say, $100 a month, emergency didn't happen for 2 years, that's $2,400 that you could apply toward an emergency. The third way that you can manage your money, and you can do all this stuff today, is by paying off your debt. So if you have high interest debt, such as a credit card, it can be a significant burden on your finances. And other shows that I've spoken about debt, that can put a significant burden. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click here, and you'll be able to see the video that I did on how I had a guest who I spoke to who was able to overcome being in debt $100,000. But before you click on that video, try to make a plan to pay off your debt by prioritizing the high interest debt first and then paying more than the minimum payment on each month. Another way you can do it is by using the snowball method. Now, I'm going to just describe what the snowball method is for you, and then hopefully you'll be able to write this down. So grab your pen and paper, write snowball at the top of your paper, snowball method, and then let's just kind of lay it out. If you have credit card debt and you have more than one credit card, multiple credit cards, here's the formula for paying down your credit card using the snowball method. First, make a list of all your credit card debts from smallest to largest. Second, make a minimum payment on all your credit card debts except for the smallest ones. Third, put any extra money you have towards paying off the smallest one as quickly as possible. Fourth, once you've paid off that smallest debt, move on to the next smallest debt on your list and repeat the process. Number 5, continue this process until you've paid off all your credit card debts. Remember that by applying whatever extra money you have to your smallest debts, those knock out those debts faster than it does, obviously, the larger debt that's going to take a lot more time. So get rid of those and get those off your plate, because those are probably reporting to the credit report that you're late, that you're have a higher utilization, and you want to bring down that utilization as quickly as possible to raise your credit score as well. Number 4, one of the best ways to manage your money is to continue to invest for the future in yourself, both through education and skills enhancement, because that will ultimately make you more money, which will allow you to save more, but also putting away money for the future. So investing in things like to grow your wealth and achieve your financial goals, like retirement, consider contributing to your 401k or your IRA. But you want to make sure that you also have stocks and bonds so that you can diversify your portfolio. Now, you may be wondering, how is it that I can invest in stocks and bonds? Well, there's a few ways that you can do it. You can open up a Vanguard account. You can open up a Robinhood account. Heck, if you have Cash App on your cell phone, you can even use Cash App on your cell phone to be able to actually invest in stocks. What stock should you invest in? Well, remember, we all have the ability to understand different sectors of industries. Invest in stocks and bonds that you first understand and second that you believe in. There's a lot of people out there that want to tell you to invest in specific stocks and bonds, but they are wrong just as much as they're right. And they've done a study on talking heads when it comes to stocks and bonds. Those individuals are about 50% as right. And the average unsophisticated investor is probably something like 40%. So they're not way more right than you. The best way to invest in stocks and bonds is to invest in companies or bonds that you understand first and that you believe in, because you're more likely to make a better decision than you are if you don't, if you invest in something that you have no idea. But remember, investing in stocks and bonds, that does carry the chance of risk and loss, of course. The 5th way that you can manage your money is to track your expenses. In addition to creating a budget, it's crucial to track your expenses. Keep track of where your money is going, because that will help you identify where you can cut back and save money. Are you getting charged excessive bank fees? Are you getting charged excessive credit card fees? Are you getting charged excessive subscription fees? Are you paying more for groceries than you really could? Could you be paying a little less? Are you paying a little more for your car note, and maybe you can refinance it to a smaller note and then pay off the principal faster? These are all things that you want to consider when you're thinking about how to manage your money. Obviously, nobody is coming to save you or me. And so it's up to us personally to do the best we can to manage our money. Remember, creating a budget and saving for emergencies, paying off debt, investing for the future through education, stocks and bonds, 401ks, IRAs, and tracking your expenses are all critical ways to help manage your money. By taking control of your finances and following the steps that I've outlined in this video, you can achieve your financial goals and build a secure financial future. Now, another way to secure your financial future, is by ensuring that you can get out of debt. As I mentioned earlier in this video, there was a video I did with the conversation with the guest, Billy Hofacker, who got out of $100,000 in credit card debt. I mean, think about it, $100,000. in credit card debt. And he wasn't necessarily making more money than you or I. It was an awesome conversation. If you want to watch that video, just click one of these end screens. All right, take care.